Good day, everybody. Welcome back. If you haven't seen the way I created this piece so far, go back to a video prior to this one and you will see how I created it. It was pretty easy. And now I'm just going to embellish it with some acrylic paints. So I'm using a few different things here. I'm using at the moment the Posca pen, just the white, and just creating a little cobweb here myself. And I just had to move there because the glare from the sunlight was just too much, because I was doing this outside in my backyard, and I've got a real nice spot here where I can do my paintings, and it's just lovely. So just creating this cobweb. And I actually went to a dollar store, it's supposed to be a $2 store, and nothing really you can buy for $2. Seriously, I don't know why they call it that. But so I bought some little spiders because it's Halloween. It's actually Halloween today. But I went to the shops yesterday and I bought some spiders and like a bat and things like that. So I ended up using the spiders. They're quite cute, and I'm trying this bat over there, but it was just too big, so I ended up just painting one which was not much smaller, so I could have used it, I suppose. But I painted my spiders because they were black plastic little spiders. I painted them with some silver and a little bit of white, just so that they would stand out from the dark background and everything. So just working on my bat here, which looks a little bit like Batman. Oh dear, okay. But anyway, just a bit of fun. So he's white at the moment, but I will paint him black and give him some highlights later on in the video. So just using acrylic paint here. Acrylic paint, I had a little bit of metallic as well to fix up my background, but that's coming later. And putting in a little ghost hiding there behind the pumpkin. Had a lot of fun creating this piece. I love doing things like that. I really, really do. It just puts me into another place, you know. Just painting another cobweb here, so that you can see it from, you know, from the moonlight kind of just hanging off the branches of the tree there. And I get a lot of webs here where I'm living now, and all the kids are trick-or-treating right now, so you can hear some sounds, some kid sounds at the moment. I've been pretty slack this year because I actually forgot to buy the candy and the lollies for the kids, so I didn't put any decorations out, so hopefully nobody will come knocking on the door. I feel real bad, but it's just, you know, time just runs away from me, that's for sure. So just doing my my little spider web here, and just highlighting a little bit with that white Posca pen, which these Posca pens are really great. Some people are worried about using them, but you just don't want to muck around with them, you know. You just put it on and don't rub your painting, especially if it's, you know, if it's on resin, because it'll rub off. But once you put that clear coat of resin over the top of it, it'll seal it all in and lock it all in, and then it's fine. I love it. But I am using my thin paintbrush and a couple of different things to create some more stuff in there. So just adding another little ghost here. I will change this, the whole thing. You will see I will put things on there and then rub them out just as I see fitting at the time. But either way would work, really, because I had a look at the photos afterwards, after each section, and this video was done in sections. So I do review the videos, and I'm thinking, oh geez, I should have kept that part in there, but I didn't. But either way would work, really. It's just a bit of imagination. So just putting some scary, ooh, ha, 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 scary ghosts behind the tree there, and then later on I will paint some eyes and things. So I'm just putting like a little grave here, and I wasn't happy with it, so I rubbed it out just with a bit of water and a paper towel, and then put like a gravestone there. And later on I will put the RIP on there, rest in peace, just with the black paint or white paint, can't remember now, even though I only did this last night. Yeah, because I go back and forth, I lose track of things. And also with my recording as well, some of the things you will see later on that I haven't recorded. It's only because I've been pressing that pause button so many times that I've started pressing the pause button at the wrong time. So the things that I wanted to record, I ended up pausing, and the things that I didn't want to, I ended up recording. So, but either way, you know, you're going to get the point in the end. And I'm just painting a little raven flying here, and later on I will add some detail to him. But at the moment it's whatever paint I'm using. If I'm using black and white predominantly here. If I'm using black, I'm going around and doing as much as I can, or as much as I can think of at the time with the black. And then when I'm using the white, I'm doing the same sort of thing, just going around and painting things that I need to do in white. It's really, really weird, because at this moment, while I'm doing this audio, I can hear some crows, rather ravens, crowing in the distance. It's so appropriate. Oh my goodness, how funny is this? Can you hear them? Wow, so suitable for the scene. Okay, so my gravestone, at the moment I am just adding some shading. And oh my god, there's so much action going on. Can you hear that? Can you hear the screaming? The kids are going crazy around here. My goodness, I had to pause the audio just for a few minutes there because of all the noise around the place. Okay, so just painting an eye in there. At this stage I'm thinking I want to put a couple of eyes and make that. Now the bird's playing up. Bloody hell. Don't want to get any peace today. Seriously. That's what I get for trying to, you know, edit a video on Halloween outside. Anyway, going back to the painting. I had an idea that I wanted to do to create a face out of this pumpkin. But that all changed, as it does, you know. As I paint, especially abstract stuff like this, you know, I change my mind all the time. And the great thing about painting on resin is that you can wipe your acrylic paint right off, so there's really no problem. There's no mistakes. So I've got one eye, and now I'm painting another eye, which looks kind of alright. But I'm thinking, oh my god, I think I've got too much stuff going on in here. You look at a painting and you don't know where to look. There's just way too much going on. Anyway, continuing, just adding some highlights, just a little bit of a light reflection there in the eye. Makes it more realistic. Okay, so just moving along here, just adding some detail to those eyes. Having a lot of fun. I really love painting eyes, and I've got so many paintings, drawings, oil pastel paintings, just painting eyes. And I was curious about it, and I did some research about it, and apparently it's something to do with finding yourself and finding your spiritual kind of self by you know, when you paint or draw eyes. And not only that, like all kinds of drawings, and I'm an art therapist, as some of you may know, so a lot of doodles that you do, some people draw, you know, fish and little faces and cats and I don't know, aeroplanes and things like that. Everything has a meaning. It's just something that you're going through in this kind of stage of your life, and finding yourself in some way, and then your subconscious is speaking to you through your drawings and your expressions. And even though you're thinking they're just doodles, little crosses or squares or circles or whatever you do, birds, it's all something. It means something. It has a meaning. So eyes is another thing. It has to do with your spirituality. And so then, you know, next time you do a doodle, you will know that it has a meaning. So Google it. You know, Google is full of all kinds of information on these kinds of things. So okay, so I don't know why I put that round black outline, and that's the end of some few, you know, shots of the end of this part. So that was last night. I was done with it for the time, and then I changed the eye and turned it into like a worm kind of eaten up pumpkin. So I've changed all of that. I rubbed all of that out, and I did this morning actually. So I'm getting ready. I've got some paint, just acrylic paint, just a bit of magenta and a little bit of metallic purple and some blue, and I'm mixing some blue with that magenta and creating a purple which will match my Purple Rain, which I already have in the background there, because I wanted to add a little bit more of it, and then kind of tone it down a little bit with the white, and just using a stippling brush to kind of stipple it in there. So you can see here that it's starting to come together, and that purple was a perfect match to my Purple Rain. And that's something that comes with experience, you know, by mixing colors. Sometimes, well, at this stage of my art career, I'm trying to speak over these kids. The kids, I don't know if it's the same lot of kids coming around my place, or it's the different ones with the same voice. And one of them has a real foul mouth. I'll tell you what, if I was his mother, I'd be washing his mouth with soap, that's for sure. I know I'm a meanie. Are you that kind of mum? I mean, it's not acceptable, is it? So you can hear the F-bomb just flying around every now and then. Oh my goodness, really? So every now and then I get like a break from all the voices and the sounds. I've picked the wrong day to do the audio, and I could go inside, but you know, I quite enjoy it out here. I've got I'm having a beer, and you know, relaxing. It's nice outside, so I want to do it outside. Okay. Anywho, this painting is coming along beautiful. Oh gosh, I just had a hiccup there. Jeez. Okay, it's coming around beautifully. So just creating a little bit of something in the eye there, you know, just making it pop a little bit. So the thing is, it's the background out of, there's a bite there, obviously. All the little worms and things have bitten out that big part of that pumpkin, so you can see the background through it. So I'm trying to create that so it's an illusion, but it's supposed to all fit in together. So, and also just trying to pretend that there's a face behind that pumpkin and all you can see is the eye. Okay, so that was the idea. So that area on the left there of the pumpkin where I had that other eye, and then I decided to make it like a chewed up, area. I got rid of that and I just put some birds there. So they're just like the friends of this raven that's kind of flying around looking over those two graves there. I don't know if you noticed me paint them. So, they're just his friends and they're just following him. Just, going around adding some black to my house, which is a real spooky house. And a little bit later I will add a little bit of light there because I do have those light bulbs on. So I've got to create a little bit of light. And just working on my bat now. And I've just realized around at this moment that all that stippling that I was doing with that purple and the white, that I lost one of my witches flying around on the broom. So I will add that detail very, very shortly. But at this stage I'm just playing with my bat and just making him black, and then a little bit later I will add a little bit of highlight to him. I could have gone and done a lot of detail to this and make it a little bit more realistic, but that wasn't the point. The point was just to do a quick one, and actually the whole process took way longer than I anticipated. So and I've cut out a lot of this video. This video was going on for, oh my gosh, hours, because all the brush work, it takes too long. And now just playing a little bit with that ghostly kind of scene. Oh, I've just gone past it. Just every now and then I just go back and forth. Like I said, whatever paint I've got on the brush, going around and fixing things. Here comes that witch. Yay! So I'm just freehanding that one. It's not hard. It's really easy to do a witch on a broomstick, flying around. Yeah, just so much fun and great detail to put in a scene like this. So I try to, incorporate everything that kind of symbolizes Halloween. Like the pumpkin was the biggest thing. Just to kind of interrupt myself here, I'm just doing a little sketch of a worm before I put it in the picture. So that's all I'm doing here on a piece of paper. And above the worm you can see all the colors that I'm just writing down, things that I have to get from the studio. The purples, the white and the blue, to mix colors up and create the background. Anywho, there goes my worm. So where was I? I totally forgot where I was. Anyway, moving along. That was just my bird making a bit of a racket there. So, yeah, just drawing that. It seemed to be dragging on a little bit, so, just like me. And for all of you who don't like to listen to me talking, just fast forward, you know the drill. That's all you have to do. So I'm just looking at that drawing now and just trying to transfer it onto my actual piece there. And I think that little worm actually fitted quite well in there. Just doing a little wiggly thing. And now drawing just with a white Posca pen, just doing an outline of the hole there that another worm had created, and then I'm going to color it in black, and then just have a worm peeking out of it. Now, a lot of these things, you know, I didn't plan. They just came to me as I was painting, and I think that's the best way of creating art, is just letting your intuition, your subconscious, whatever you want to call it, just letting it do its own thing. And just that's why I don't really talk while I'm videoing these kinds of scenes. I'm just you know, happy to do the audio afterwards, because I remember the feeling and I remember what I was going through most of the time anyway. So that's why I do it the way I do it. So what I'm doing here is just colouring in that little wormy that's poking out of there, just with white at this stage, and then I'm gonna give him some segments very shortly, just so, and an eye and a mouth so that you can see what it is. So just putting in a worm here now, very delicately, just with my paintbrush and a bit of white paint. So later on you will see close-ups of everything so that you can see that everything looks pretty reasonable, a bit of fun, and it all seemed to fit in. And just going around now with my Posca pen. My parrot thinks that I'm talking to her, so she's you can hear her in the background. It's all happening, people. I'm telling you, it's all happening today. But anyway, just going around and highlighting a few things just with my Posca pen, so that you can see that moonshine. Ooh, no, just a bit of a glare from the moon there on different things, as much as I could sort of see at the time. Going around with the eye a little bit more. So we're nearly finished here. I'm just tidying up, really going around with the black paint and the white paint. Oh, how exciting! Getting to an end of this piece, and today is Halloween. How cool is that? Righto, so just, you know, mixed up some resin. This piece is about 30 by 40 centimeters. So I've got about 100 milliliters here, which is going to be plenty just to cover that. And once again, I don't mind if some bits are sticking out. I don't mind that at all. And what you can see here is just ground coffee. I'm going to use that for my earth in some areas. Why not? Use all kinds of things. Once it's in resin, it's stuck in there. It's not going to go bad. It's just going to be part of the whole scene. It just looks like soil. So that's why I decided, well, it just came to me. You know, as it does, you get these ideas, they just come out of nowhere. And this idea came to me while I was making my coffee this morning, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I can use this in my resin piece. Right, so just going to roughly spread out this resin so it covers the whole area. And like I said, I don't worry about the bumpy bits. It just to me adds to texture. Just got to make sure that I push this in a little bit, and I always pinch the corners when I tape my boards. I find that it contains the resin in better that way. You get a square in there rather than a rounded finish that you have to kind of sand afterwards. So I'm just going to muck around and play with this until I'm done, and that'll be it for this piece. Alrighty lovelies, here it is. I'm so stoked with this piece. Just put some resin on it. It's still pretty wet. There's one witch flying there. Here's another one. And there's the bat. Looks a bit like Batman there, but anyway, all good. There's my little spider. Here's another one. That ghostly kind of smoky thing there. I've got so many things. I've got coffee down here for my earth. And more here. See how that's textured? Hopefully it won't move on me, and a little bit over here around the tree. So yeah, let me know what you think. There's so many little details, little baby spiders there. Zoom. There you go. And a couple of baby spiders in here as well, if you can see them. There's lots of little details, and my little worm, and another one here. So they're supposed to be like a bite mark. And my raven, which is flying and looking over these graves. Yeah. Real pleased with it, just waiting for it to set now. Bye for now.